Okay, we're not going to spend too much time on the intro screen. Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to another Really Dangerous stream. Hi, welcome. My name is Wes. Yeah, this was just kind of random. You know, the whole thing is I have the house to myself. That's why. I cannot emphasize enough how extremely rare it is for me to have the house to myself. I never get the house to myself. My brother is always around. My parents are always around. It's rough. It's been rough. But yeah, they're all gone for like a little bit. So we are going to enjoy it while I can. And yeah, that's basically why we decided to hop in here today. But yeah, I hope everyone's having a good Wednesday. I hope it's not super crazy or anything like that for you. We're just gonna do some like CZs and stuff. It's not gonna be a super long stream or anything like that, but I did want to, you know, kind of go over a little bit with Elite, because it's been a wild couple of nights, and also show off the Concord Cannon, just so you guys can kind of see where we're at. You know, I've mostly stopped a lot of my power play stuff for right now. Yeah, rank 63, I feel like that's pretty good. They have halted rares trading, so that's something we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about all of this throughout the next hour or so. But yeah, I've got the Concord Cannon. It is bugged on a few instances. I don't know what the exact cause of the bug is or anything like that, where it will not reload. So if you're purchasing, you know, you're purchasing ammunition or whatever, for whatever reason, for some people it is not reloading. I have not had that issue. Reloading from my carrier has not given me any problems whatsoever, so I cannot attest to it. If you are having that problem, I guess just wait and see if tonight's patch fixes it. I don't really know. So what I'm going to do for right now, just kind of show it off. For people that are interested in wondering, is it good? And show you what it looks like as someone that has made this one of my mainstay weapons. I only have one on here right now, so bear that in mind. This is, of course, you know, the Ozark, the lazy man. The lazy man's CZ killer. So, you know, the things will be a little different here and there. It's always had really good DPS to begin with, but I can say, you know, as someone that doesn't really pay attention to spreadsheets or min-maxing or anything like that, I mostly pay attention to time to kill and just general time to clear a conflict zone. It has shaved off a significant amount of time just adding this one cannon, taking off one of my beam lasers, adding the cannon in. It's really good, guys. I really love this thing. So yeah, right now I have it set up so that it is high capacity, high yield. You could probably actually go overcharged on it instead of high capacity. It has way more ammo than I thought. I thought that the way that this thing worked, it would just be chewing through ammo the entire time. Not really the case. I've really enjoyed it so far, ammo wise. And there's a couple reasons for that. I'll kind of show you here in a second once we get over here. We'll just boost it. Actually, you know what? Can I attack any of these guys? Are any of these guys red? Hey, how are you doing? What's up, buddy? Hey, you're deadly. I need you for points. One of the interesting things about it is that it does not auto fire. So like, it's gimbaled, and obviously when you press the button, it will fire off, right? But it doesn't automatically fire the next rounds if you're just holding down the button. So what you can do is you just kind of do a little love tapping, like I'm doing right now. You just do a little double click, and yeah, I've really enjoyed it. You know, one of the things with my old cannon is that it was always really hard to tell if it was even really doing anything. You know, big slow round. Not really a whole lot visually going on. Very different here. You can definitely tell when it's actually working, and the rounds are so fast that I have really not had any issues whatsoever in terms of being able to hit something. Maybe if it's like super far out. I mean, if you guys have watched my streams doing these CZs and stuff, you know, I tend to start firing from like 3K, 3KM out, right? But as you can see, visuals, pretty much hitting all of them. If you were within, you know, 1 kilometer, these things are hitting. The rounds are just so fast. Now, bear in mind, you know, for the context of all of this, I am mostly doing this as someone that usually does PvE stuff. If you're wanting to check this out for PvP or something like that, I have no idea. You'll have to talk to other people about that. I don't care about PvP really at all. But yeah, as you can see, I mean, it's just chewing through all of this stuff. So yeah, typically whenever my frame rate isn't dropping like what you see here, I don't know, it's just, this game has been having performance issues since Ascendancy came out, so it's kind of its thing, right? I don't know if it's something with the new bloom effects or what, but we'll fight through it. It's fine, don't worry about it. But yeah, you know, it's really taking down the time to kill on a lot of this stuff. Typically before this came out, it took me between 7 to 10 minutes to clear low CZ. Now, if I'm not getting any chaff, I'm doing it in like 5 flat. Like, it's cut off at least a couple of minutes. You know, chaff is chaff. It's going to be whatever it is, right? But yeah, it's been a significant improvement time-wise to what I'm doing with clearing this stuff. I really love this cannon. Like I said, you know, you can play around with it to taste. Engineering wise, I like the high yield shells. I have never really had them on anything before. I don't know how relevant they are on a lot of things. But it's killing things faster, which is really all that I care about. But yeah, it's just a really fun little weapon. I highly enjoy it. It's not something I don't think I would make like the primary thing for any of my ships. I mean, the big thing to kind of keep in mind is that it is only a only I think a 2D or something like that. So it's a pretty small weapon, but it does make a nice little supplement to everything else that I'm doing. So yeah, this thing I think is a permanent addition to the roster right now. But I mean, as you can see, those shots are really fast, way faster than I expected when they were announced. And yeah, I mean, they're mostly hitting too. So yeah, I'd highly recommend it. I really enjoy this thing. Plus, it's still got the cannon sound effect, which is really nice too, right? Just that big foom. All right, wow, I can't believe I actually had to use a shield there. I haven't had to use a shield booster in a while. That's what I get for streaming and not paying attention, I guess. But yeah, you know, that's kind of where I'm at. You know, I really want to get the pacifiers unlocked, but you know, until they get everything figured out with what they're doing, you know, we'll just have to take that as it comes. As an Ashling supporter, that's like one of the last modules I will have access to. So, you know, it's just, there's not going to be any rush, I don't think. But yeah, I figured, you know, the Concord Cannon was kind of a nice stopping point in my grind. It's been so many rares. It has been so many rares. Like, I spent probably an entire day just loading up the cargo hold and moving it on from there. But you know, it's not fun. I wouldn't say it was all that engaging, but it was efficient. So you know, there's that. So yeah, now that I've got these things unlocked, you know, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. We've got the patch coming tonight. And it is nice that they are looking at lowering that they're looking at lowering some of the levels that you need for some of this stuff. It's just Power Play 2.0, I don't know. It started so strong, and then I guess it just FDev gonna FDev. Like I play a lot of games, guys. You guys know that. So like I tend not to be as hard on them as others. But yeah, they really don't know what they're doing when it comes to player psychology, I guess. You know, I'm not a fan of time gating. I've said that many times on our streams. But you know, for something like this, it seems like they want like a very specific time frame for leveling up. And if that's going to be the case, then just time gate it, right? Like, let us have so much progress each week, and it takes so many weeks, and, you know, however many weeks it takes to unlock a new module, that's it, right? It's not my favorite method. You know, if they give me the opportunity to just grind something, I'm going to want to do that, right? I'd much rather prefer that kind of thing. But, yeah, it's just very unbalanced right now. Like, I can't believe that they thought it would be a surprise. That like, oh wow, people are doing the thing that gets them the most merits. When there's actual rewards involved with it. You know, it'd be different if there wasn't any rewards or anything, right? But, yeah, it's one of those things that like every other MMO has figured out by now. And for whatever reason, it just feels like FDev is kind of stuck in a game development process from like 10 years ago, right? It's kind of the same way with people complaining that like power play should be open only, right? Like I see so much of that like, well, it's elite dangerous, not elite love or whatever, right? It is like, even Warcraft's kind of ended that. That started dying 10 years ago, man. It's 2024. But hopefully they can figure out the balance stuff. It just seems like, I don't know. It seems like they're fairly good at programming. And obviously the Galaxy is like nothing else in any other video game, in my opinion. Like the Galaxy and just the immersion of a lot of this stuff is really good. But game development is not about programming. You're going to get a lot of programmers that are going to say, oh wow, you know, as a coder, as someone who does, you know, dabbles in a little bit of coding, you know, that kind of thing, right? No, game development, if you want to be a game director, it's about project management and player psychology. Those are really the two most important things you need to know if you're going to be a game developer, especially when it comes to a big open world game like this. Like, that's the reason FF14 is so big. It's not because it's always doing groundbreaking things or anything like that. No, FF14 is really good because Yoshi P is probably the best project manager in gaming right now, right? Like, if he wants something done, it's going to get done, it's going to get on time, and he's going to have a very strict vision of how it needs to be done, right? Which is something that FDev does not do. They have a vague vision on a lot of this stuff, I think. But when it comes to actually seeing it through and understanding how the players actually like play the game, that does not seem to be the case. They're very good at building things and creating the game systems. But yeah, they really dropped the ball with the Power Play 2.0. Just the balance of it, what they expected from players. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't really know what they're doing or why they were surprised with the rares. I really don't. Now obviously the data link scanning thing, like that was a legit exploit. Yes, that needed to be taken out. Like there's really nothing wrong with them removing that from the game for a little bit. But yeah, like if they get the sense that players are moving too fast, like they're the ones making the game. Like, it's up to them to set the speed of things, right? It's not up to the players. Like, don't punish the players for playing your game. Like, if they found a way that makes it super efficient and doesn't fit your predestined plan, like, that's on you guys. Like, that's not up to the players. Especially in a space sim like this, where half the players are, like, the spreadsheet nerds. And have everything, you know, mathed out to the 4th decimal or whatever, right? So yeah, we'll see. I mean, to be completely fair here, like, this was a pretty big change. And overall, I want to be very clear about this. I think Power Play 2.0 has been a very good update to the game. It's doing something that has been desperately needed, which is giving players direction on things to do. And I've talked about that in quite a few streams now at this point. But yeah, like overall, what we are actually doing in Power Play 2.0 and the overall idea of it has been a very solid addition. You know, if you're a casual player, you don't know what you want to do, if you're a veteran player, you've been playing a while, you've done it all and just kind of looking for ways to kill time. Like Power Play 2.0 has been a great addition because you always have something you can look at and you always have something to gain from it. And all of it has a purpose, right? But in terms of the actual balance of it, yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know how any MMO developer can be surprised by players playing the game in the most efficient way possible, right? And so yeah, you know, I hope that they can get their balance things figured out. I would prefer them to boost everything up rather than nerf things down. And it kind of sounds like they realize that if they are considering lowering the threshold for some of these modules or the amount of XP or merits or whatever you need to gain ranks. All of that is really good. All of that is really important. So we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I think that a lot of the goodwill that they had from the introduction of Power Play 2.0 is fading very, very fast with some of the decisions that they've made. But yeah, I mean, like I said, you know, like time gating, especially in an MMO, it's kind of one of those things. Like I don't like it. I hate time gating, but it is also kind of necessary as a live service game where you have to have things to close those gaps between content, right? Because if everyone finishes everything really fast, then they're just going to complain that there's no content, right? But if it takes too long, then it ends up just not being fun. And I feel like somehow, I don't know how, but FDev has managed to do both of those things at the same time. I never thought I would see the day. I thought this was something that only Blizzard was capable of. But even their heyday of time gating has somehow not been this egregious. Because yeah, it's one of those things where players are simultaneously going too fast for the amount of content that they have, but also like I don't know. Like if they were gonna time gate things, yeah, just time gate it. Just make it so that they can only have, you know, so much progress at any given time, and it keeps track of your progress every week. And like, I don't know, every week you get a merit or something. Just do full on. If they want a set time to get these things done, then just do full on, like the weekly system in WoW or FF14 or something like that. Like, it's a tried and true system. It's not always the most exciting. I definitely prefer just being able to get in here and grind my way through things. But if they have a set amount of time they want things to happen in, then just do it that way, right? Like, don't do any of this, oh, well, we're constantly rebalancing and nerfing and buffing and all of this stuff. Like, just tell us what you want. And then go from there, right? Like, that's your job as a game developer, is to set the pace. So if you let us have access to everything all at once, then we're going to try and get everything all at once. That's just basic MMO psychology. So there is your MMO fun tips for the day, right? But yeah, I mean, honestly, with Exobio and Exploration being nerfed as much as they have been, like, I'm not really in a rush anymore. Now that I've got the new cannons, yeah, pacifiers would be really nice. I'd like to stick those on my P2. but it's not necessarily essential. Like right now, the Ozark here, the big old lazy vet, it's doing more than enough to keep me occupied with this new cannon. Like, it's really not even an issue. I'm having a lot of fun with this thing. I love this weapon. Did he not die? That's fine. I'm not chasing him like 5 miles out there. Here we go. But yeah, I mean, I came back from that big trip. I don't know if I've streamed since since I came back. But yeah, I did that big trip up through the Elysian Shore and into like the Arcadian stream or whatever. It was up above Sage, right? I had 13 pages of exploration data turned in. It wasn't like as much as it sounds because I wasn't like super active with scanning everything like I normally would be. But still, I mean, 13 pages of data was quite a bit. And yeah, it was about 75 million, whatever that happens to be, right? And only got 2,000 merits from it. And that was, I mean, I was out there for 2 weeks or whatever. And yeah, when I saw that, I was just like, you know what, I'm good on power play for a little bit. I'm fine. I basically got in here, ground out another round of rares to get the Concord Cannon, and that's really about it. Part of it's because of the squadron. You know, it's a little difficult to do a lot of power play related stuff for Aisling when she is nowhere near our faction's space. But yeah, I think it is definitely like way too low for how much work it is on some of this stuff. Like the rares, I really didn't see anything wrong with the rares, personally. Yeah, you see people turning in for like hundreds of thousands of merits at once, you know, on the weekly leaderboards or whatever. But that ignores like how just mind-numbingly boring it was to get that many, right? Like I was just sitting in a system getting 100 little doohickeys at a time, right? And then getting back in the ship, flying back to the carrier, unloading it, then flying back to the station. Like, it's not the most engaging or fun gameplay. So, you know, I don't think that it was necessarily... I don't think it was necessarily unbalanced for how much time it took me to just sit there flying around. I mean, I'm not joking. It was about a full day and a half just to load the carrier and send it around. And that was just for like... That was basically for 2.5 cargo holds full in my cutter, right? It was something like, I don't know, 1,800 relics or whatever that was. And that was in a good system. That was with a system in Boom that was given, you know, 100 at a time. So, like, these people turning in for, like, 1 million or whatever, like, they're really just... They're not doing anything else. So, like, if they want to do that and get a ton of merits for it, I think that is well within their right, because they're really not having a good time. Which is a whole other thing, you know. Not having fun in the game you're playing, that's a whole thing. So yeah, I really think they should have buffed some of the other stuff. Some of the combat-related things. Maybe give us more options in terms of, like, ground stuff. I don't know. But yeah, they really needed to buff everything else up instead of nerfing everything else down. Like, it just really doesn't make sense. Alright. Alright, so as you can see, I've been having fun with this thing. Can you tell I like the cannon? Have you been able to tell, compared to some of my past streams, like how fast this thing is just absolutely wrecking some of these guys? I mean, look at how fast those rounds come out. But honestly, I do think my favorite thing about it is the double tap. I actually really enjoy the fact that I can still hold down my left click for my multi-cannons and only really use my Concord when I feel like it. I think he's been the one shooting me this whole time. There we go. I don't know if that's intended. As far as I can tell, it's the only weapon that I've seen that does it like that. I don't know why. But I really, really enjoy it. I'm sure that some people might be watching the stream and going like, actually, you need to be using flight assist off, and like, why are you holding down the buttons so much and all this stuff? But like, look, man, I'm a Savage Raider in FF14. Holding down the button is just what I do. It's what I'm used to. I do it without even thinking about it. So yeah, having that button that I can just double tap, it's nice. It's real nice. I love it. I love this thing. I love the way that it sounds. It seems like it's putting out a lot of damage. I can't really tell if it's doing anything like module-wise. Like I said, I've never done anything with high yield shell, so I generally don't have much of a clue in terms of what module damage is actually doing. I haven't been able to keep anyone from escaping at the end of a CZ, so I guess it's not taking out their FSD. But outside of that, it seems like it's doing some pretty good damage. Seems like it's doing what it needs to be doing. And yeah, it's just fun. But, you know, again, like I said, it's something that's more like a supplement than something I would put on a main ship. Now, again, I don't really use a whole lot of small or medium ships for combat. I do have the Mark II. I need to re-engineer some of my other stuff and maybe give that a shot. But for here on the Ozark, in place of one of my beams, yeah, I really, really like this thing. It's been well worth the purchase. And yeah, like I said, I don't know what the deal is with the bug on it either. I know a lot of people have had issues with the reload bug. I don't know if it's just something that only happens at stations or what, because my fleet carrier has really not had an issue. It's been refilling my ammo pretty much every trip without too much issue. But yeah, I need to go back and watch some of the other VODs with the old loadout. I timed it the other day. I actually did do the old set the egg timer kind of thing, right? But with like most of the, sorry, I'm getting a bunch of notifications. But yeah, with about like half of the enemies having chaff or whatever, I was in and out of a low CZ in 7 minutes flat. Like it was literally like 7 minutes and 1 second from exiting Super Cruise back to entering Super Cruise. And yeah, without chaff, I don't know what we've been. We're only 30 minutes into the stream and we're already about ready to get into the another CZ. Like how many is this now? We done 2, 3? I don't really remember. Yeah, we're really just burning through these things. So yeah, as someone that only really pays attention to, you know, time to kill and stuff like that, I think it's been a big boost. How much of a boost it would be compared to using like a small, like a super tiny multi-cannon? I don't know. But it sounds better. It sounds cooler. And that's really what's the most important thing, right? Is that it sounds really good. I gotta say, for all that people give FDev trouble for, the sound design is not one of them. But yeah, compared to all of the other stuff, I mean, before Power Play 2.0, the only thing that I really had were Prismos. So I have never had any experience with any of these other things. And Concord's definitely my favorite. It's definitely the one that like I can actually use. I'm full gimbaled anyway, so some of the other stuff is already kind of difficult. But you know, I tried the Imperial Hammer. Not my thing. I don't like manually aiming in these ships. It feels kind of weird. It felt like it wasn't really doing a whole lot of damage. Not really worth taking out, you know, these super engineered beams or whatever. Haven't tried the mining lance. I've heard that's kind of kind of a gimmick anyways, right? It's not like I'm doing a ton of mining as it is. But yeah, the Concord is made up for it. Yeah, I was looking a little bit at the advanced plasma, because again, I've got a lot of stuff unlocked at this point. Let's see, what were my other options? Retributor beam laser. I have not tried that one yet. I think I might have picked one up. I can't remember, but I don't think I've installed it or anything like that. It definitely doesn't have any engineering on it. So yeah. But the Concord's really, really nice. I can't wait to get the pacifiers though, but that's going to be a ways out. We'll just have to wait and see what the numbers changes are going to look like after tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, if they end up like just doing straight nerfs and not really buffing everything else or lowering the amount of loyalty you need for modules, like I can see people just completely bouncing. Like I'll be honest, it really is bad enough. Like all MMOs are gonna have a grind at some point. It's unavoidable. But like, again, I completed WoW Archaeology. I say that every time I start talking about grinds in these games. There's literally no game out there that is gonna have the grind that was. But yeah, a little bit of grind is fine, but a lot of it has to do with how it's handled. And yeah, I don't think they have really handled it all that well this time around. Like, it's fine to have a grind, but grind needs to be fun. Grind needs to be fun, and there needs to be some semblance of balance. Like, people need to feel like they're actually progressing. That is really the most important part. That's what I mentioned in my archaeology video, right? Is that it's not necessarily the amount of time that it takes to do something. It's the perception of time, right? It's the perception of progress and whether or not anything is actually getting done. And right now, it feels like you're not really going to get anything done in Power Play 2.0 without spending just an inordinate amount of time. God, I hate chaff so much. Get this guy out of my way. I wish that the modules would the high yield shell would take out the chaff launcher. That'd be real nice, wouldn't it? Come on. There we go. There we go. Alright, see, now he's just floating out there. Now he's dead in the water. There we go. I don't know why it's always like chieftains and challengers that do this. It doesn't really happen with other ships where they just start floating endlessly, right? There we go. We'll just keep hammering him. At least now I'm facing the way back, right? All right. Well, that was a good first enemy. That took way longer than it should have. I really hate chieftains with chaff. Any of the lion ships with chaff on them, they're just annoying. It's not like they really pose any amount of threat to me whatsoever, right? But they exist purely to cause me to mold. There we go. But yeah, you know, there's a lot of other cases too, with some of the Power Play 2.0 stuff just not adding up. The Power Play CZs, I think, were a really good one. Way overtuned. They just take forever. It doesn't seem like you're actually supposed to finish them. And you don't really get enough out of it to really justify the amount of time that it takes. So, like, I would like to see them kind of retune and rebalance some of the ships in those CZs, because I think that's a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing CZs, as you can see here, as we get to like 3 in a row, right? There we go. What is it? Oh, it's an Annie. Okay. Yeah, this one doesn't have chaff either. I'm gonna absolutely chew through this thing, elite or not. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, that's a lot of fun against big ships. There we go. All right. I mean, to be fair, I am in a bed, so, you know. All right, good enough. Get over here, buddy. Whee. But yeah, like I was saying, the power play CZs are a lot of fun, but yeah, there's a lot of bugs with them. Like sometimes they just don't spawn anything inside. That old thing again. Way overtuned. And yeah, they just don't give enough to justify it. Also, every time that I have tried one, I'm still getting that weird bug with the Spec Ops team. Like all 4 of them auto-targeting me the moment they spawn in and then never peeling to anything else. And like the Ozark here can take a lot, but it can't take four Spec Ops all at once. And yeah, that one's really annoying. It does happen occasionally in regular CZs like this too. But yeah, they just stick on you. They don't peel. Like I can fly, you know, 12 kilometers out or whatever and try and get them to go fight other things. But the moment I come back in range, they just start auto-targeting me again. And yeah, I don't think that's supposed to happen because it only happens occasionally, even in the regular CZs. But it seems like it's happening every single time in one of the power CZs. And I really don't know why. Come on. All right, see now that we don't have anyone with shaft to worry about, you can see how quickly we're just chewing through all of this stuff. Oh, the Concord Cannon is so good. I love it. Here we go. Boom. Okay, someone's trying to rock me around. So far, the most dangerous things in any of these CZs has been the other mobs. I don't know what they've been doing since the update, but I feel like my NPCs on my side have been running into me a whole lot more lately. There we go. And an extra one for the road. Right. But yeah, I think we're doing all right. I think we're doing okay. What was that, 8 minutes? Something like that? And like half of that was spent on that one challenger. So yeah, in my book, the Concord Cannon, very fun, highly recommended. I hope they do fix the bug for people that are having that issue with theirs. You know, it's a shame to have a shiny new weapon and not be able to use it. But like I said, at least on my fleet carrier, I don't know how it would go if I was like landing on someone else's fleet carrier or whatever, but at least for my personal one, I'm not having any issues with a reload bug or anything like that. So I generally have no idea what's wrong with it. But yeah, that just means more CZs for me, I guess. Sucks to be these other guys, I guess. But yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow tonight. I need to double check and see when the actual time frame starts. I can't remember if it was tonight or not. I think it is. It's like a 4-hour maintenance. We'll see if it actually works like that. Past couple of weeks have been a little spicy in terms of actually coming up in time, right? But yeah, you know, I'll probably hop in here, just see what the news on the forums and stuff are. And see if it's worth coming back and doing some more trading or whatever. The way that they made it sound, I don't think any of the loyalty changes, if they are going to nerf the requirements to get some of these modules, it did not sound like that was going to be something that would be this patch. It seems like this patch is just purely for redoing the numbers of the things they took down. But you know, the stranger things have happened. We'll just have to wait and see. I just think it was very odd that they had to take down like the rares and stuff, but they changed the merits for SLF fighters like on the fly without doing anything. It's like if you're gonna change the numbers, just change the numbers. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's got like scaling and stuff with rares based on distance. Might make it a little bit harder to do on the fly, but yeah, I just thought that was funny. Like they hated people doing the rares so much that they had to take them down. But like everything else that they needed to change the numbers for, they were just like, oh, okay, we'll just push that through and push that through server side, right? But that being said, you know, tomorrow for us, I don't know what we'll do. I don't know. I want to stream something. It'll probably be more FF9 because I feel like we're making good progress through that game. And yeah, it might be a little bit longer stream. I'm gonna be working all weekend, so probably nothing Friday through Sunday. And obviously next week are the holidays and stuff. We'll see what's going on. I'm planning on going to hang out with my buddy on Thanksgiving, but we'll see what his plans end up being. Things are very fluid. If we end up not hanging out and having a campfire or whatever, then we might do a holiday stream, you know, for those of you guys that just need a place to hang out and get away for a little bit. But yeah, so I want to get as much FF9 done as we can, probably tomorrow. And FF14 is always kind of its own thing. They do have the what is it? Is it the new Unreal coming out? I think next week, something like that. Or is it actually the Ultimate? It might be the Ultimate. Yeah, Rena and Gaia's Ultimate. That'll be another thing that I'll never get to see. I'm guessing the requirements are going to be to clear M4S, which, you know, obviously haven't done that. Haven't done that this expansion. So yeah, I will be unfortunately passing on the Ultimate. I still want to get through T. Ugh. I still want to get through T. I want that weapon so bad. I'm sick of staring at Living Liquid's ass. I had such high hopes in that last static. I had such high hopes, but you know, can't really expect a bunch of WoW players to just hop over and think they know what they're doing, right? They're nice enough guys, I guess, but some things were not meant to be. Sorry, I had to let them go for their own good. Maybe they eventually got it down on their own. All right, let's go Froggy Frogs. Let's go. But yeah, you know, I think it'll be fun. That's always exciting. I'm wondering if there's going to be any more drama with this Ultimate like there have been the past few times. We're going to have, you know, any more telescope mods coming out, right? I don't know. I don't really pay attention to the world first stuff anymore. Most of the world first crew, the people that are doing that super hardcore for the Ultimate things, let's just say that they're not people that I would really get along with all that much. So yeah, I haven't really paid much attention to it, but it's always kind of fun to see like what the new mechanics are going to be. And just the general vibes from having like new, very, very difficult content, right? But yeah, you know, with more people coming back and taking a look at the new Ultimate, usually that means that people will be going back and doing the old Ultimates more too. So, you know, maybe I can actually find that T static. That'd be really nice. I would really have a good time with that. I need to stretch the rating muscles a little bit more. I'm kind of feeling that itch. It's just we haven't had a whole lot of time. It's kind of hard to stream it. You know, trying to pay attention and listening in on voice chat and all of this other stuff. There we go. Especially with people that like, I don't know. People I don't know, people you don't know. If some other VTubers out there, they're, you know, maybe friends or something on Blue Sky want to collab and do it, then, you know, that'd be a different story. But But yeah, we'll just wait and see. I have noticed a few more listings lately for that kind of thing, so hopefully that that will lead to some good things. I just have to believe. I have to hope. It's just very odd because, like, I don't know. For liking like the really hard content, the T weapon is really the only one I want. Like, yeah, I would do top or something like that if people were like really interested in having me do it with them. But like, it's not something I necessarily feel like super engaged to do, right? Like, even though it's the harder raid, I just really want that T weapon. The T weapon, I think, is probably the best looking red mage weapon out of all of the ultimate stuff. So yeah, that's just really all I want. And honestly, let's be real, it does have the best soundtrack out of any of them. All right, who's plugging me? It's probably some little eagle, like it always is, a little eagle or a vulture. Oh wow, look at that. Well, he's dangerous. That'll give me a couple points. I should be getting pretty close to deadly here. Man, I'm really not looking forward to the grind from deadly to elite. After how long I have been doing CZs and stuff for the squad, it just seems like such a long amount of work. It just doesn't even really seem worth it. It'd almost be easier for me to get triple elite in exobiology than it would be for combat. Come on. This guy. This nerd. There we go. We'll just do a little reverse ski then, shall we? Why not? You can't stop me. There we go. And yeah, you know, the reload on this thing is pretty good too. Like, it's not super long. Like, it's hard to tell because of the old double tap. Yeah, it's a little faster than you think. I'm enjoying it. Come on. But yeah, we'll have to see what things are looking like in FF14 once the ultimate is out. It usually brings people back, and usually that means, you know, some of the old RP haunts and stuff start coming back too. So yeah, it might have some fun doing that next week too. I don't know what. I've mostly been fishing for the most part. All right, come on. Nice. All right, who's closest? That's really what it comes down to. Who's the closest one? We'll go for that guy. They were already attacking him. We'll just snowball it, right? I always try getting the snowball going, and I feel like it just never really works. I just end up doing my own thing and killing these things faster than my NPC buddies can anyway. So why even worry about it? Boom! Yay! All right, who's attacking me now? Who is that? I don't even know why he's attacking me. He's got another guy on his butt the whole time. Really doesn't make any sense. But you know, it's his death wish. Ooh, Andy's elite. Hey, you're worth quite a few points. Come here. Come here, buddy. Hey, like my new guns. I like my new guns. Seems like they're doing just fine. Oh wow, already? Oh, okay. We'll see if I can get this guy down before he jumps out. Probably not. As much as I like the Concords, it does not feel like they are quite capable of shutting down things fast enough to escape the high wake out, right? That's fine. That's fine. We've done what is this, 4 or 5 in just this one stream. I would be curious to take this into like a medium or a high, but it's just not worth it. It's so much more work. It's so much more time and effort and ammo for very little gains, other than just to like show off your ship. It's not like anything in there is really all that much harder other than the spec ops. So, you know, why spend 30 to 40 minutes in a high when I can just blast through like 4 lows in that same amount of time, right? Ugh. But yeah, like I was saying, that's kind of our agenda for the upcoming. We are getting close to the 1500. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for the endurance stream once we reach it, because I think we are going to reach it. So, you know, thanks everyone that's liked, subscribed, and all of that to help me reach the end of the year goal. I wasn't sure most of the summer if it was going to happen or not, but thankfully it does look like it's going to happen. So yeah, we'll do a 12-hour endurance stream, but man, I just really don't know what to do. I'm thinking of doing the whole switch off every 2 hours so we can keep things moving, and that will also keep me awake. But yeah, you know, we'll probably do some of the guitar in there, maybe some karaoke, a little bit of games. Maybe we can. I think I've still got Deadlock on. I might need to re-download it. It was updating like every other day, so like, yeah. But yeah, Deadlock seems like it might be kind of fun. Something, you know, something that's not like story-based or just something I just sit on with. But yeah, you know, we'll just take that as it comes. We'll take the ideas as they wash over me. But that being said, like I said, this was just going to be a short stream, just a quick guerrilla stream to kind of show off the Concord Cannon, talk about what's going on in the lead and that kind of stuff. I'm very tired. I'm very, very tired. I really should have gone to sleep a little bit earlier, but I couldn't. I laid down and everyone was banging around in the house and it just wasn't happening. And so streaming it is. And we haven't done a whole lot of Elite lately. And with everything going on, I felt like maybe it was time to hop in here and do a little bit just to say hi. But that being said, you know, thanks a ton everybody for stopping by. You know, not really a whole lot going on, but you know, CZs are easy enough to kind of talk about news and that kind of thing with the entire time. But you know, next time if they end up buffing some of this merit stuff, you know, next time we hop in here, hopefully I will be more awake and have a little bit more to do other than just running the same CZ over and over again. But yeah, we'll see how things go. Like I said, I don't even know when the servers are going down, but it'll probably be a few more hours. But that being said, I'm gonna go to bed. All right, everybody. Hope the rest of your Wednesday goes well. I hope everything works out if you are playing Elite and they don't nerf everything to the ground and can actually do a little bit of balance stuff with it. But that being said, take care. Bye-bye.